You're watching NBC4 HD. This is News Channel 4.
All right, ladies, it's time to get down to business here. You think it's impossible to turn back the hands of time and look younger? Well, in her new book, 8 Weeks to a Younger Body, fitness consultant Joan Pagano helps her readers customize a workout plan for each of them based upon age and fitness level to do just that. And she says you can see results in just 8 weeks. This morning, we welcome Joan Pagano here to show and tell us some more. Good morning.
Good morning, Melissa.
In the title of your book, you emphasize the fact that results are, able to be seen in just 8 weeks. How important is it to give people that instant gratification tease as a motivator to start working out again?
It's actually true that you will see changes in 8 weeks' time. It's both motivating to know that, and especially motivating to know that those who are in the most deconditioned or the most out of shape will stand to make the greatest gains.
But your approach is a longer-term approach, of course.
Well, once you get done with the 8 weeks, then you continue the program and you'll get even more dramatic results.
For whom is your book intended?
The book addresses women ages 26 to 65. It's broken down to 4 different age groups because what we're looking at to establish is your body age. And we do this with a series of simple measures that anybody can do at home.
And by body age, you mean in what condition, not how it looks, but in how healthy you are under the surface?
It's your physical age. It's your ability to function, like how well your cardiovascular system functions, and we measure that with a 3-minute step test. How strong you are, and we measure that with simple crunches and push-ups. And how stretchy you can be. We measure your flexibility with a simple sit and reach test.
So you can, if you're 30, you might be able to have your body appear, not just appear, but be in better shape as opposed to a 30-year-old who could be more like a 40-year-old if they don't work out.
Exactly, right. Without exercise, your body ages faster than necessary.
Now let's talk about waist to hip ratio. We know historically that has something to do with male attraction for women, but it also has some meaning in your book. Tell us about that.
Right. Waist to hip ratio is measuring the waist and the ratio of the waist to the hips in order to determine...
Maybe you can show us. We have these two lovely women named Sharon, both named Sharon to make my life easier. Good morning.
We're measuring Sharon's waist first, and we're taking a measurement there, and then we're going around the widest part of her hips in order to get a hip measurement and making sure that the tape measure stays level. You get your reading, and then you divide the hip measurement into the waist measurement in order to get the waist to hip ratio, which is an indication of where your body fat is distributed. And if you have more body fat in your hips, you are at less risk for developing certain kinds of diseases than if you have it at your waist or in your belly. Because the fat in your belly is very metabolically active, and it's been associated with cardiovascular disease, with high blood pressure, and with developing diabetes.
All right, why don't you give us an idea of what some of the exercises you recommend look like?
Okay, so these are very simple tools that anybody can do at home that give us a lot of information about designing an exercise program appropriate for your starting level of fitness. And the scores that we get are based on numbers that the YMCA determined from hundreds of their members across the country. So you're actually comparing your results to those of real women. And you see that Sharon, being the older model, is reaching to 16 on the tape measure, and Sharon in blue is reaching to 17 because there's
now, how do you know where to put the tape measure here?
The tape measure is set up with a 15-inch mark at the end of the mat and the 0 towards the user, and the heels are right up against the edge of the mat. And you see that we lose about 1 inch of flexibility with age if you're not stretching. But both of these women are fitness trainers, so show us how far you can reach. So we see that with stretching, these women are off the charts for their age group. Okay. The second measure, if you lie down. We have time for about one more exercise. Okay, lie down and we'll show you the form for crunches. So this is a particular form.
You want to make sure you're doing them properly.
Yes, exactly. You have to do the form that we're showing you in order to use the scores, to compare your scores to those of other women in the book. So the hands are 3.5 inches from the edge of the mat, and you do this form of a crunch, which measures your abdominal strength, by sliding your hands forward as you lift your head and shoulders off the floor so that you hit the edge of the mat. In other words, we want to ensure a full range of motion, and that every crunch, you could repeat a few, please, every crunch is done in good form.
And what would you be doing if you were doing this wrong? That would be damaging.
Well, if you were doing this wrong, you would not be going through a full range of motion. You might be doing them too fast and out of control, so you want like a very measured type of action.
Thank you. One last question before we go. Is this the type of thing that people need to consult their doctors before they begin
Definitely,
this regimen?
always a good idea. Thank you for mentioning that.
All right. Well, thank you so much for being here. We appreciate it. And we'll be right back.
Thank you.